Hello everybody and welcome back, and in this lecture we will cover one more footprinting tool, which is basically called Whois. Now the Whois is an important footprinting tool because it basically gives us a bunch of information about a website that we scanned. Now the information can be used for multiple further attacks, since the information that we get from the website, from the Whois command or program, is basically who registered the website, where is it registered, which date does the registration expires. We get a bunch of addresses, telephone numbers, email addresses, and a bunch of the other options. So let us just type here just the Whois. It is pre-installed in the Kali Linux, so you don't need to install it, you will have it already there. And as we can see, what the usage is Whois, then the option, then the object. These are a bunch of the options that you have. We will not cover them, we will just basically scan the site with the host option. So we will just type here, let's scan a big site, for example, so that we can get a bunch of the information. So cnn.com, if you type here Whois cnn.com, it should print out bunch of the publicly available information about that website. Let us just wait for this to finish, it shouldn't take too long. Here we go. Now the first thing we see right here is that the notice one, which says you're not authorized to access or query our Whois database through the use of high volume automated electronic processes or for the purpose or purposes of using data in any manner that violates these terms of use. So basically this is not illegal. You can see right here, by submitting a Whois query you agree to abide by the following terms of use. You agree that you may use this data only for lawful purposes. So basically you shouldn't be using any of these data for any of the attacks that we will cover if you do not have permission to do so. We will just check out the data, we will not use it for any further attacks, so let us just see what we got from this command. As you can see, the first thing we have here is the domain name that we typed, cnn.com. The registry domain ID, we can see that the registry Whois server is this one. Now most of these commands do not really interest us. We can see this could be possibly interesting for us, which is the name server. It could be useful for some of the DNS attacks. But until then, we will just check out all of these options. Let me just see if there is anything interesting right here. Register abuse contact email. We can see an email right here. Contact phone. Registry expiry date. So we can see when does it expire. Creation date. Updated date. Let us go a little bit down here. Terms of use. Okay. Registry domain ID, this is basically all that we've seen already. So here are some of the publicly available information. As you can see, the registrant email, tmgroup@turner.com. So for example, if you were an attacker and you were hired to test a company and you tested their website like this and you get a bunch of these emails, you can use them for some of the further attacks, such as malware sending. You can send a malware, for example, from this email, and this is just a hypothetical example. It can be used for some of the further attacks, such as sending malware to this email and hopefully waiting for someone to open it. Then you will have a backdoor installed on the inside of the company. So here we can see more of the publicly available options, such as the registered city, state, postal code, country, bunch of the other mobile phones, emails, as we said. Here down here, let me just see another email right here, and the name server. As we can see, this can be useful. Let me just check if that is that. So basically you use this command in order to gather more information about the company. It surely can provide some of the information you might need. So in order to, for example, save this to a file, as we did in the previous command, in the previous lecture with Nikto. Let me just see if it has an option to save to a file. I'm not sure if it does, but if it doesn't, you can do that with simply, let me just clear the screen, let me go to the root directory. So we're in the root directory. You can just type here the same command, and you can type the arrow into result.txt. Now it won't print out anything here, I believe, and it will print all of the output into the result.txt file. So when this finishes, we should have a file with all of these things written to it. As you can see, we didn't get any output, but if we click here ls, if we type here ls, we can see the result.txt. Let's get that file, and we should have all of our information available in that file now. So you can send it to someone if you want to, or you can just have it so you don't have to type the command every time in order to check something out. Now, since I don't need that file, I will just delete it, and that's basically it for this program. You will find it useful sometimes and sometimes not, but in the next lecture we will cover the email harvesting, which we will use a program called Harvester. I'm not really sure if it's installed. Yeah, I'm sure, yeah, it is installed in the Kali Linux, so we will cover it in the next lecture. And until then, you can practice these two programs that we covered for now on, including the Google hacking and Nikto, and you can also practice with the Whois program to find as much information as you can. Now, this is it for this lecture, and I hope I see you in the next tutorial. Bye.